Welcome to Knicks.com. Jonah Ballow here with assistant coach Rasheed Hazzard. And it's time to preview the matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who make their lone trip to Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night. This is a team that's 26-7 since the last time you faced them. Obviously, Kevin Durant back in the lineup helps things. What are they doing with those two players now that they're both healthy and thriving?
I mean, those two guys are just always going to find a way. They just present so many difficult situations for you because of how skilled they are. And then Russell Westbrook's intensity and the level that he plays at, from an emotional standpoint, let alone his physical gifts, just makes him really, really, really tough to guard night in, night out.
With Billy Donovan, are they working Kevin Durant a little bit more off the ball and having Russell Westbrook handle the ball in the middle of the floor and trying to get some open opportunities for Kevin so he doesn't have to work so hard?
It kind of seems that way, and Russell is seeming to come into his own as a point guard. You look at his assist numbers this year. I mean, his turnover numbers were a little higher, but he's really sharing the ball, and his vision as a point guard has really improved, and it's something that's great to see in a young player like him.
Steven Adams out of the lineup for them, at least in that Brooklyn game. They lost the game against the Nets. When they go small, what challenges does that present for your team, and obviously what they're going to do maybe differently on Tuesday night?
How small are they actually going? They have a 7-foot small forward, so you can't really get too concerned and caught up in those things. We have to come out, play our game. Once again, transition, stopping Russell Westbrook in transition, taking away all those threes that Kevin Durant gets in transition and making them take and make tough shots. That's going to really be the key to the game. But we need to play the way that we know we're capable of playing, and we can beat anybody in this league. Carmelo has said it time and time again.
Is there any pieces that you can take out of the game? I know it was a while ago, and the teams have changed from the November win. That was really a big victory for your club to go into Oklahoma City and beat that squad.
Yeah, you look back at it a little bit and see how they played, but you know that they're a much different team with Kevin in the lineup. And so you can, take some of their defensive strategy and how they played, different actions that we run, take a look at those things. But from an offensive standpoint for them, they're going to be a completely different monster.
Do you see a lot of changes what Billy Donovan is doing compared to what Scott Brooks is doing with that team?
I haven't watched a whole lot of them. I'm more focused on the Knicks. So I don't watch. I watch a lot of other games, but I don't watch them enough to really have a feel for how much different they are. But obviously, Billy Donovan has brought some of the things that he did at Florida, and you see that he's trying to get them to move the ball a little more. But I think they're a lot of the same because they're playing through Westbrook, Durant, Ibaka. I think between those three guys last night, they took something like 60 or 70 shots out of their total field goal attempts. So they may be doing a few things differently to get to the same end, but I think their philosophy is pretty much the same, and why shouldn't it be when you have three players of that magnitude?
Yeah, that's a great point, too, about the passing. Their assist totals are going through the roof, especially Russell Westbrook, who's now, getting to be a really well-rounded player. All right, let's focus on the Knicks. I know you like talking about your team, obviously. Rebounding from these two losses and bouncing back. I know coaching staff, the players don't want to make excuses for travel, the blizzard, staying over. But with that said, how important is it to get back in the gym, get some rest, and kind of, rethink things as you get ready for this week of action?
We have to just get our energy back and come back and start playing the game the way that we know we can. Like you said, there's no excuses. Everybody dealt with the weather. Everybody dealt with some elements of, tougher travel. And those things are part of our business, But we have to find a way to play with that joy and that enthusiasm that you saw us playing with in the past couple games when we won those 2 overtime games. And I think getting back to the Garden and getting back in front of our fans is really going to help kind of galvanize that spirit because we get such great energy from our fans in the Garden. It's unbelievable.
What do you tell the players, too, about that? And I know it seems simple, but to kind of give them a jolt in the sense of getting some energy back in the lineup and playing the way they were. Sometimes you go through the lulls of an 82-game season. It's natural where players are going to have those feelings. So how does the coaching staff provide that to them?
You just continue to you coach with passion. You continue to teach. And you continue to be compassionate about the things that they may be going through, because what people often forget is that these guys are regular people. They have families at home. maybe they were on the road worried about their families back at home by themselves with their kids and their wives dealing with the snowstorm. So you have to have a level of compassion. It doesn't always come down to something that unwillingness to do something, or a lack of passion from them. It doesn't always come down to that. Sometimes it's just the human element that you have to deal with, and you have to manage that. But again, to me, the key to managing that is compassion and patience.
Very interesting stuff. I think fans would like to hear that. And, this is the time where you look at the the schedule. You have the Thunder, the Raptors, and then the Warriors. So this is going to be an interesting week, and it all starts with OKC on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think last time we sat down, I think we were getting ready to face Atlanta twice, and then we were going into Miami, and then on the back end of that was San Antonio, and we finished that trip 3-1, and so I think this team really gets up for these opportunities to prove themselves against these bigger name teams than we are at the moment. But I also think that we're no longer going to sneak up on anybody. They know how good Porzingis is. They see Carmelo starting to round back into form with his health and getting his legs back. We've got something good going here. So we're not going to sneak up on any of these teams. They're going to come in with a healthy respect for us. And I think we're going to be ready to go out and kick some butt.
Let's do it. Let's end it there, and let's get a W on Tuesday night.
Absolutely. No other thoughts in my head.
There he is, assistant coach Rasheed Hazzard, right here on Knicks.com.